So, my favorite human being I have ever encountered by far, that I love more than any other human being, has come to a fraction of winning my love that I cherish and treasure. It happens to be born November 22nd, 1988, 11/22/88, which is the anniversary of John F. Kennedy's assassination. And as a direct result of meeting this person, I went to Huss Recovery Center, where my counselor's name was Leon, which is a male version of the name that means the same thing that her name means in Latin. And it was next to St. Olave's Church, or that was the closest church in walking distance, where there is a plaque to John F. Kennedy, which caused me to study John F. Kennedy. And he was always my favorite president because he was the first Catholic president of the United States, and he was the member of the Knights of Columbus. And despite being a Democrat, his things he defended were very conservative. And he was a Knight of Columbus, which its symbol on the Knights of Columbus is a fasces, where the word fascism comes from, and the symbol for fascism, many rods bound together to form an unbreakable axe. Well, I find out that his name is alternative for Jack, which my name is an alternative for John, alternative for Jack, which is an alternative for Jacob, who all the Jews descend from, spouse of Rachel and Leah. And Mussolini means Jacob, and he was spouse of Rachel, and Mussolini's birthday happens to be my birthday. And Jackie, his wife, is an alternative for Jacob. So I put a note to Jackie Kennedy, and I put Jackie Kennedy's photograph on my wall on Christmas, which is called the birthday of Jesus, but also the birthday of Dionysus. The following January 1st, a day I celebrate as the birthday of Denise, which means Dionysus Naslund, someone I pray to and love and pay homage to, a beautiful Catholic girl who died for a deed of charity to somebody who was pretending to be injured. A very sad story. But on the birthday of Dionysus, I enshrine Jackie Kennedy. And then on January 1st, less than a week later, it's the birthday of Denise, which means Dionysus. I find a Jackie Shock cell phone, SCHOK, and I was shocked because it's in my locked security hallway. And the only apartment that I share that security hallway with is vacant. And the door of that security hallway locks on its own. So the odds of somebody putting a brand new cell phone in a package is very, very rare, because they would have to go through a locked security door, and they would have to get the wrong address right. So it would have to be the landlord, or it would have to be someone with a key, or it would have to be the mailman. And how would he do that? So this cell phone has the name Jackie on it, and it's got the last name K. What are the odds? Birthday of Dionysus, less than a week prior, I put a note to Jackie Kennedy and a picture of Jackie Kennedy on my wall. Okay? Less than a week later, or however long it is from, I'm not the best with understanding how many months have 31 days or 30, but anyway, from December 25th to January 1st. January 1st, birthday of Denise, Dionysus, a birthday I celebrate, and her middle name is Marie, which is for the Mother of God, and she was born Feast of the Mother of God, okay? And I find this Jackie, last name beginning in K, cell phone, and it's the only thing on the floor of that security hallway. It was not something that had been there prior that I missed. It was just right in the open on the floor of a security hallway that doesn't have anything else on the floor. And it lacks all explanation. Somebody got the wrong address. Somebody went through a locked door. It would have had to have been the landlord, or it would have had to have been someone with a key. And the only apartment I share with that hallway is vacant. So it makes no sense why that cell phone shows up, and it's a Shock cell phone, SCHOK. And I was shocked when I found that cell phone. It was a confirmation, but also it has links to my favorite person that I love and cherish above any human being I've ever loved and cherished, whose birthday happens to be November 22nd, 1988, all digits of 11. And the last time I got out of jail, I went to jail on May 11th, and I call the 11th of every month Philomena Day, my favorite canonized saint. She didn't work her first miracle until about 1500 years after her death, and then many miracles started happening at her tomb. And Saint John Vianney is the patron saint of parish priests who attributed almost all of his miracles to Philomena. Well, on I believe it was August 4th, it was the feast of John Vianney. I saw an image of a girl wearing leopard skin next to an anchor, and an anchor is a symbol for Philomena. And so I associated leopard skin with Philomena, and it made me Google Philomena and pray for her. On the way to Mass, Assumption Church, I saw a woman in front of me wearing a leopard skin bra. And I got to Mass, and it's the feast of St. John Vianney, who blamed all of his miracles on St. Philomena, and he even wrote a personal litany to honor St. Philomena. And the leopard skin is what Dionysus actually wears, and his priests wear leopard skin. So it's very interesting because it seems like because a Hindu lady of all people, mailed me a Philomena cord in the mail, okay? And when I went out to my mailbox to grab the Philomena cord in the mail, somebody left a box of baking soda with a bag of leopard honey nutritional supplements, and the package that it came in looked like leopard skin. And I already associated leopard skin with Philomena. And the Hindu lady that sent me that started talking about Philomena, which made me write a letter to Philomena, and the lights started flickering. And some of the people say Philomena is a name that means lover of strength, but some people argue it means lover of light. And the lights started flickering when I started writing Philomena. And I went for a walk and I called her Saint Phil. Okay, and Phil is abbreviation for Philip, so I called her Saint Phil instead of Philomena while I was walking. And somebody hands me a flyer that says, while I'm walking, it says, an invitation to St. Philip's Fall Festival in Minneapolis. And I just prayed to St. Phil. And I just wrote the letter to her the day before, and the lights started flickering. And the lights didn't just flicker a few times, they flickered for quite some time. And one of the arguments is that her name means lover of light. And so on Sunday, I call it Philomena Day as well, because of her association with light and the sunshine. And she is my sunshine. And so many coincidences, but because of her association with leopard skin, it's just interesting because Dionysus and his priests wore leopard skin. Another very strange thing is John F. Kennedy got 666 votes on one of, I think they call it the Democratic primary. He just Googled John F. Kennedy got 666 votes. And the beast of the apocalypse in the book of Revelation had leopard skin. And the beast of the apocalypse has a fatal head wound. And John F. Kennedy had a fatal head wound. Now, I'm not suggesting anything like that. I'm just saying it's kind of funny that people called him the Antichrist. And that was, but I put the image of Jackie Kennedy on the birthday of Dionysus associated with leopard skin, and then the birthday of Denise, meaning Dionysus, a Jackie cell phone, last name K, shock phone, shows up in my locked security hallway to shock me. And people say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. The two holidays are linked to one another. So it was divine providence. It was a sign. It contains a very special message. And as a result of meeting somebody with the birthday, November 22nd anniversary of JFK's assassination, I wind up in St. Olive's Church, where John F. Kennedy attended, and there's a big plaque at the pew where he attended Mass. God bless you. Oh, and Mussolini means Jacob. Jacob married Rachel and Leah, and Benito Mussolini married Rachel, who has my birthday, and Mussolini and Jacob acted very similar. They both disrespected and dishonored their father, and they favored their mother, had a tenderness for their mother, and both of them supplanted and, removed from power, replaced. Jacob stole the office of someone more qualified, an office intended for that person, a blessing intended for that person. His twin Esau, he stole it from him through deception and stealing. And Benito Mussolini stole the office of a more qualified prime minister, despite him not having any qualifications. And both of them were contenders with God and contenders with men. God bless you.